How often do we hear in the personal development space that we are held back or we have limiting beliefs due to our fears? So I really wanted to dig a little bit deeper into that and perhaps share one or two things that have come into me over this subject. First of all, let's quantify fear. Immediately we see fear as a great trauma, perhaps being physically threatened with violence, or our house being broken into, or perhaps being involved in a car accident. That is, or the thought of that is what most of us think of extreme fear. But when we talk about fear in the development space or the spiritual space of healing, it's actually very subtle. It could be your fear of perhaps looking for another job. It could be a fear of change. For instance, you may rent a house, your partner wants to buy somewhere. You've saved perhaps enough up for a deposit. But when you actually go looking, that voice in the head keeps telling you that there's something not right with what you're looking at. Even though your partner really likes it, that voice keeps coming in that it needs work doing on it. It's going to be expensive on electricity. It's a long way from home. All these things are the subtle fears, what I'm trying to put across here. And they actually, without us realising, rule our lives, because you could constantly, with that example, keep looking and looking and looking and looking. And the reason I use that example is because I saw it on a program on the television my wife was watching about couples looking to relocate, and the narrator, commentator takes them round looking for houses in that area, trying to meet the criteria. And more often than not, I've seen that situation where one half of the partnership is really fearful of taking that step, that move. Another subtle fear is moving jobs or leaving the job to start a business. The latter being the biggest one in the achievers, and that's usually where people in personal development are, because they're looking for more out of life, and they start with sometimes looking within or picking up a book and knowing that this is the right path. And when we lean into that thought of leaving our job, the security of that income coming in, will I fail? Am I good enough? What do I have to do to succeed? Will I have enough money? Will we run out of money? Will I be able to get customers? How will I grow the business? All these things that come in, that voice of fears. And some, and I have to say I was one, I overcame that through need, because the need of the environment I was in, earning a living at the time, and shareholder within a company, and the boss of that company being narcissistic, I had to get out at all costs. I was so unhappy. I was unhappy for 3 or 4 years in that environment I was in. It was probably one of the worst times of my life, not the worst, but one of the worst times of my life. And you see, I was forced into taking that leap off the cliff to start my own business. In actual fact, I bought a business. And that business did go on to be very successful, but you know, the start was really frightening. I kept questioning myself, have I done the right thing? Is this ever going to work? What have I done? And even after I'd done it, that voice kept coming in and compounding those fears. So I just wanted to share with you how fears are very subtle, and it's not immediately what comes to mind as a fear. It's a subtle fear. It controls our lives, it holds us back, it limits our beliefs, and sometimes it's very difficult, whatever that is that you're trying to achieve, sometimes it's very difficult to lean into it. But if you do want more information on it, go to my website, stephenbones.com. We can have a deep conversation about it. Just leave your name and email address, or contact me, message me, whatever you want to do. I'm around, you can get me. But I just wanted to share that because that came into me this morning during meditation, and obviously the way I see it, somebody needs to listen to this conversation. So hey, thanks for listening. Wherever you are, have a great day, and we will speak soon. Bye for now.